Welcome, welcome. Deborah Thompson here with Changed by Choices. I wanted to talk to you today about an oil that a lot of people even have a hard time pronouncing. Can you see that? It's been Copaeeeba, Copaeeeba. It is a resin-based oil, and it comes actually from one of our farms in Ecuador. And when I say resin-based, for those of you that maybe aren't sure what resin is, it's like if you hard sap essentially that comes off a tree. Like our frankincense, myrrh, Copaeeeba are all resin-based essential oils. So they actually have to scrape the tree, let it leak or let the sap come, let it harden, and then that's what we distill. So it is a process to get those particular oils. But I want to talk about this one, and I want to talk about comfort or lack thereof. So any of you that may know me or know a little bit of kind of like how my family journeys with these oils and what we're doing, my husband, I'm actually in our bedroom, and I'm going to just flip around really quick, his nightstand. You can see he uses a few of the oils, and we get the most out of them, let's say. This is one of his faves because he combines it with these guys. Peppermint and Panaway. And we're getting the last bits of those ones. And another one that's really good for rebuilding is helichrysum. We call this actually Band-Aid in a bottle. Helichrysum is actually in the Panaway blend. So this is a whole nother topic and a whole nother discussion, but I'm going to tell you these three have been his little gateway to comfort. And the reason those trio are really important is he had a knee injury back when he was 13. Went to the doctors, got the medical support or advice, and they said, well, nothing was wrong. That was a long time ago. They did nothing, but his knee was massive, and it basically just fused together. He blew apart his whole knee. So that was a long time ago. And then in a bull riding accident at the very end of his very successful career, he rode one more year with a fractured hip and a chip in there. I don't know. He's got a weird pain tolerance, you guys. But anyways, long and short of it, that was 10 years ago. So we have done stem cell. Prior to stem cell, you can only alternate certain over-the-counter meds so often. Our kidneys and our liver are filters. They have to process what we hand our body. And if you think about the stuff that we do on our daily basis, we beat ourselves up pretty good, and we take for granted what our body actually has to do to function and keep us going day to day, and we keep pushing and pushing. My husband shoes all of our horses, or he hasn't for a little while. We have a good farrier that's taken his place until he gets back into it. But he would take his over-the-counter meds, prior oils, and he could barely get done one horse, never mind 8, by the time he needed more support. So when I started, we said, you know what, as we ventured through, we worked through me, we worked through my kid, and we said, what can we do? So at the time, the peppermint and Panaway were in the starter kit that we have, which I will discuss at one point. These two, so peppermint is just a fave by many too, but peppermint and Panaway. Most people don't know what to do with Panaway. It is valuable. It's amazing. So we had these two in the starter kit, and I thought, you know what? Why don't we try it? I was really apprehensive about it even working because it was bone on bone, and what could that possibly do? It took about a week and 2 applications on his knee. So if you're going to put it, so if you have knee discomfort, if you have back, hip, you name it, wherever it is, you have to apply it. So you have to put it on. You can't diffuse it and hope it works. I've had people ask me that, and the aroma is amazing. It will help you relax. It will bring you some peace, but is not going to help your discomfort. So we layered them. Peppermint's been known to be a bit of a help to help drive it into the tissues. There is some science behind it. Don't have all the details, but do the research if you want to find that. It took a week of these two applied twice a day for him to really start to see it. So people are like, oh, well, a week. Well, when you're dealing with something that intense, you got to stay committed. Holistic health and healing is possible. We're journeying it right now, and it's amazing, and it's a beautiful thing. But what happens is your body needs time to adapt and like work with what you're giving it, right? So then we added the Copaeeeba to this trio, or to these two, to the duo. We made it a trio. And so he applied it as he needed it, and that was the end of using his over-the-counter meds, because it got to the plateau where they were not helping. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to treat, prescribe, diagnose, or cure anybody. I'm telling you our personal experience, his personal experience with those. Use your meds if you need your meds. That's fine. But he was to the point where there was a trade-off and it wasn't working. So he had to do something different, and we were experimenting a little at the time. And like I said, that was 10 years ago that it happened, and it was 3 years until he actually started to use the oils. So he was, post-injury, it'd been quite some time. So he'd used the meds for quite a while before we had this opportunity to try them. And they had really started to kind of phase out and kind of just dull their effects. And I also was using over-the-counter meds after I had my little boy for my spinal pain, because obviously prior oils. And unfortunately for me, it was not helping, only because it just was such intense pain. I needed a lot more support, and I did get it with chiropractic and what have you. But the reason he used those, the trio together, is absolutely phenomenal. This one is a very, very powerful one for discomfort. Apply it, layer it with other oils. He used that trio to help him. And with it being a resin based, it's a little bit heavier, but when you're applying it, if it's your knee, for example, all your ligaments and your tendons are at the back, right? So when you're applying it, you actually have to apply it down in behind. So he would just drop them on his knee and rub it in behind, and he would do it twice a day, before work and then when he got home, or before bed. And you guys, that's all he used. And after stem cell, well, they gave him some CBD, melatonin stuff. And it has helped. But that was the gateway, you guys. This is what he's been using. And granted, it's not for everybody, but this one comes in one of the starter kits now, and it also is so mild that little ones, you can use it to help with those extra little teeth coming. Wish I would have known that when my little kid was letting his huge chompers go. I'm just coming to the kitchen now to show you some of the other ways that there's another trio that he uses. Here's our little vitamin cupboard, as you can see. There's vitality oils. They are not the actual labels, as you can see this one here, frankincense. And I don't know, can you see the big row of them in there? The frankincense and the Copaeeeba is also an amazing opportunity to help with discomfort. So these three are also amazing for comfort. So when you think about using oils for discomfort, think about applying it, layering it, combining it with different oils that you see fit. And when we're using those particular oils, that is what we used, and we used it from the starter kit. So when you think about it, that starter kit is really the best place to start, because we didn't even know what solutions we had until we start really diving in. And as you start your journey, experiment with one oil. Get to know it, live it, love it, learn it, research it, Google the heck out of it. You'll be surprised at what you learn. So Copaeeeba is a favorite. Find it through the link in my bio. If you're interested in a starter kit, these oils, the small ones, are a perfect trial to get you to a place where you can find what suits your lifestyle, what your needs are. And remember to treat these like a medicinal. Use it consistently and treat it with the same respect. So you have to use it, so many times a day. and on a more regular and consistent basis for it to actually help you. So yeah, lots of success stories in this house, but that's one of them. And if you have any questions, send them my way. And be sure to share any stories or any little tips and tricks if you have them, if you use those oils, especially Copaeeeba, because that's a real unsung hero. So anyways, have a good one. Until next time.